You mentioned early on that one of the things you have to remember is people aren't always going to come to the table with open arms.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you could talk about, like, in your experience, in your travels, a time where somebody really wasn't receptive to what you were trying to teach to them, or sort of a sticky situation you were ever in, and how you dealt with that.
One of the challenges of being a U.S. citizen in the global marketplace today is that a lot of non-Americans project, the concept of projection, they project onto you all of their feelings about the United States, military, cultural, economic, and suddenly you become the repository of everybody's feelings. And so one time I was facilitating a session with a primarily European group of executives, and I was presenting them with some survey data that we had collected on the company worldwide, and it wasn't very good. The data showed their employees were telling the executives that they weren't doing a great job of leading the company, building a healthy culture. And there was somebody in the audience who was a U.S. citizen who said something quite provocative. And I tried to facilitate a very, I thought, balanced conversation about cross-cultural communication, challenging the group to think differently. But the group got very angry at me. And I think they got angry at me because I was American, not because of the way I was facilitating the conversation. And because I always start my presentations by saying, I have a U.S. passport, but an aspiring global mindset, and I'm here to learn from you. So I think that happens a lot. And I'm sure Mexico has a similar kind of situation. Mexico has a long tradition, is a fantastic country in South America, and when the Mexicans go down to other parts of South America, I suspect that there are some people in South America that have a similar reaction to Mexico. So I do think that it happens all over the place, and it just depends on who you're interacting with. Uh, uh, it's a very good question. Let me just say one other thing, and that is that when I went around and did this study of leaders, I did not realize that it was going to be a lesson in national cultures. I became a student of national cultures, and I wrote the book with a professor of international affairs at the University of Pittsburgh. And one of the things we noticed is that the social character, the people of a country, are influenced by the history of that country, the economics in that country, the religion in that country, the geography in that country, and all of it comes together and influences the social character of the people. And the people then choose leaders who build institutions. And so Mexican companies are different from U.S. companies, which are different from Taiwanese companies because of all of these factors. And so I began to notice that each country brought something special to our understanding of leadership. So one of the things that the Americans, the U.S. citizens, teach the world, I believe, is that they are the optimistic entrepreneurs of the world. They're positive, they're optimistic, they're the great problem solvers of the world. The Germans are the quality perfectionists. They have an incredibly high standard of quality in Germany. One of the German CEOs said to me, one of our problems in Germany is that we overeducate our people. Everybody has a PhD in Germany because we value education and training. We also over-engineer our products. And so the German products have incredible quality, but the cost of producing those products is too high because they put too much quality into a product and they can't compete on cost or value inside the world. So each country has its own special contribution to make, I believe, about this. And I think great leaders understand that we can learn from everybody, that no one country has the secret to success.